This episode is brought to you by the fine folks at Babylon Burning. Babylon Burning is a 50-year-old legacy screen printing business located in the heart of San Francisco's South of Market district. They specialize in high-quality custom screen printing that's built to last. For 5 decades, they've been putting ink to fabric, working hands-on with beloved SF institutions like Rainbow Grocery, the Balboa Theater, and SF MoMA to produce custom merchandise people love to wear, collect, and proudly show off. 2026 marks 50 years of keeping this well-oiled machine running strong. To celebrate this incredible milestone, longtime owner Mike Lynch has extended an open invitation to the public for an all-day 50th anniversary party on Friday, March 13th. That's 2 Fridays from now, y'all. Bring a shirt to print, dance a little, raise a glass, swap stories, and help celebrate a shop that's been keeping San Francisco weird, loud, and well-dressed since day one.
I really like writing about television shows and movies, and so I was like, maybe that's what I want to do. And I didn't know what that would look like or how to really do it, and no one in my family was like, especially women, went to college. That was not a thing. So I'm in high school, and I took a creative writing class, and then I got brave and decided to sign up for the newspaper, and then I started writing movie reviews.
That was Sonia Mansfield from the What a Creep podcast. I'm Jeff, and this is Storied San Francisco, a show about the artists, activists, and working people who make this city so special. Shout out to our fiscal sponsor, Independent Arts and Media. Thanks to them, you can donate to Storied SF at any level and frequency to help us cover production costs, and your donation is tax deductible. Just click the donate button on our homepage, storiedsf.com, and you'll be taken to a really simple and easy to use interface. Thanks for your support. In this episode, meet and get to know my friend Sonia Mansfield. Today, she hosts the What a Creep podcast, which I'll just call required listening. But the way she came into writing and talking about movies and pop culture was definitely not a straight line. This will be a 3-part episode, so check back tomorrow for part 2 and Thursday for part 3. Here's Sonia Mansfield.
So my father grew up in Richmond, and my mother grew up in Concord.
Oh, wow.
And eventually my dad moved, closer. He was, in Concord. And she went to Queen of All Saints Catholic school, and he went to Mount Diablo High School. He went to Mount Diablo High School with my mom's best friend.
Oh, it's a best friend story.
Yeah, so my dad and my mom's best friend used to date, and then when she broke up with him and broke his heart, my mom swooped in to make him feel better. So they were high school sweethearts, and they were married right after graduation. They were 19.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What decade was this?
They graduated in the 60s, late 60s, and they had me at 21, so they were babies.
Yeah.
And that was 1970. I am quite old.
Yeah. Likewise, I'm right behind you. But, and you are, again, because I know you, I have a little bit of insight about your family dynamic.
Yes.
You have some siblings.
I do. I have my sister who's almost 3 years younger. She's my best friend.
She's my age.
Yeah. We're BFFs. And then I have a younger brother who's 8 years younger, and he is also there. He's fine.
That was diplomatic.
Yeah, we don't always see eye to eye, but we are family, and we have dinner together 3 times a year at holidays.
Got it. Okay, so your mom from Concord pulled your dad over, because
yes,
you're from Concord.
I am from Concord.
Yes.
I grew up in Concord, lived there my whole life. It was really quiet, not as developed as it is now. I mean, the BART train didn't open there until like in the 70s at
That was
some
an
point.
extension.
Yes.
Yeah.
So lots of open fields. I spent a lot of time roller skating.
Yes. I was just talking about roller skating yesterday. Oh my God. Have you done it lately?
I did it a couple years ago. Like
Pandemic.
It was one of
Pandemic
the
roller
things
skating.
during the pandemic
Yes.
where I was like, I'm going to get into roller skating.
Yeah,
and
the
I bought,
sourdough can wait. I'm going to roller skate.
Yes. So, well, I did both of those things because I am
Excellent.
such a joiner.
Yes.
I was like, that sounds fun. And then I do that too.
Have you made sourdough while roller skating?
Hardly ever. Just one time, and it was not good. No. So we had Roller World.
Roller rinks. Yes. There's a big thing in my childhood as well.
Concord is probably well known for. It has the Concord Pavilion.
Yes.
Which was a big concert venue for 5 minutes, I think, and then now it's like the Sleep Train Pavilion, I think, and it's where you would go to see like Hall & Oates now, or that sort of like Eddie Money used to play there a lot. Huey Lewis
R.I.P.
used to play there a lot.
Still with us.
Yes. So it was that kind of venue. But
Concerts.
Yes. So anyone who would come to Concord is probably going to the Concord Pavilion at the time.
Right. If you're listening to this and you're like, oh, I've heard of Concord.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
You have gone to see, I can't even think of Smash Mouth. Like, I don't know.
This was supposed to be a podcast where Smash Mouth never came up. So
I'm so sorry, but they're all stars.
It's all good. Okay, so let's dig into growing up in Concord.
Yeah.
I like to situate. So you were a kid in the mid to late 70s.
Yes.
You were a teenager in the 80s. You're a young adult in the 90s at some point. Take us through life in Concord. Your life.
So
in
Gen
Concord.
X.
Oh, so Gen X. Someone, by the way, just for the record, someone tried to claim that 1985 birth is Gen X the other day. I was like, oh, hell
I don't think that's true.
Oh, hell no.
There's an official cutoff. They need to go to
It's
Wikipedia
80,
for that.
It's 80, 81.
Yeah.
Definitely not 85. Anyway.
I think about it now, how different it is, because I have a son who's 14 now, and we're going to talk about that, I'm sure. But
yes.
We just ran wild. We were feral children. At 5 years old, riding bikes all over Concord, no adult supervision. They had no idea where I was all day. They were like, get the fuck out. We can swear, right?
Please.
Yeah.
I'm going to call this, I'm going to change the name to Fucking Stories.
My parents were just like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
We all day,
Yeah.
gone, doing God knows what, but you needed to be home by 5:30 for dinner. That was the rule. So we don't care what you're doing. So there was that. I had a little wiener dog named Oscar.
I don't think I know that
Yes,
or don't remember.
I grew up with a little wiener dog named
Awesome.
Homer. Or Oscar, sorry, Homer was later. And you could sometimes know what house I was at because Oscar would be sitting outside that house waiting for... By the way,
God.
another thing that we did, no leash. Just riding my bike everywhere, dog chasing me.
And he was a latchkey dog.
He totally
You were
was.
a latchkey kid. He was
Yes.
just literally waiting wherever you were.
Yes.
I love that.
You could... Oh, Sonia must be at Leah's house because there's
Oscar.
There's Oscar out
Oh my
front.
God.
I just assumed growing up that everybody was... It's so everyone's a friend you just haven't met yet. I just walked around, assumed everyone was my best friend. I walked into neighbors' homes. I didn't know them.
Oh.
I would just hello, you're watching cartoons and I also like cartoons. And would just sit down and join their family and watch cartoons. I was that kid.
And they didn't kick you out. That
No.
says a lot about not only you, but the world.
Yeah. Well, all the doors wide open.
Yeah.
You could hear what everybody's watching. I'd just be walking around. I'm like,
It's almost like you could choose, you change channels. Okay, they're watching Scooby-Doo, they're watching Garfield, yeah.
Well,
whatever.
and I don't know why I thought that was a thing, but that's just what I would do. And
I love it.
So we met a lot of neighbors. We were just a roving gang of kids going wild.
Yep.
And
With siblings or just with contemporaries?
no, my sister would definitely be
3
into
years
that.
is yeah.
My
yeah,
brother
yeah.
was too young for that.
Right.
So we were always together. And also we had a lot of cousins. My mom is one of 8 kids.
Okay.
And there's a lot of cousins. So
That'll get you a lot of cousins.
Yeah, so even at like family things, it was like a roving band of kids just like doing whatever.
Roving band of Gen X kids.
What's
I love it. I relate to this so much.
And my sister and I were totally bad influences too on each other in the way that now I would be horrified if my kid was doing, where it was just like we were riding our bikes and it was like, jump that, you can make it, like, go on girl, do it, jump, and like try to jump some huge hole on your bike and like fly over the handlebars.
But like, remember, at least in Texas where I'm from, when you get hurt, one of the things that you call it is like you got skinned.
Yeah, or
where like you're like some part of your body, the skin just like scraped across asphalt.
All of
and
that.
it hurts like
yes.
fuck.
And then your parents are like, rub some dirt on it and walk it off. Put some Bactine on that shit.
Oh yes.
Put a Band-Aid on it. Get yourself a Snoopy Band-Aid and
iodine
and get out of my house.
Whatever you do. Yes.
And like, there was the one time where Michelle's like, I bet I could ride my bike blindfolded down the street. And I was like, do it. I bet you could. No, she like immediately curves like into a parked car. Like,
yes. The only thing missing from that story is some kid with a Super 8 filming it.
Yeah. Welcome to Jackass.
Like 20 years before that.
I'm gonna ride
it's just how we live.
I'm gonna ride my bike blindfolded down the street.
Oh my
I'm
God.
Michelle. Welcome to Jackass.
Oh my God. I hope she still has scars. You mentioned cartoons. You mentioned walking into people's clinic.
Yeah.
But again, because I know you and I know I'm teasing what you do now and what you've done for a while. But when do you say when did you fall in love with TV, movies, all the stuff?
I was always a TV movie girl. Like, my dad is definitely a movie guy. He loves to watch movies. He doesn't like to go to the theater. He used to love to
even
go to
before
the
pandemic?
Yeah. He tells this story. He used to go all the time when he was younger, but then he went to see like Pale Rider, the like Clint Eastwood movie from like '86. And everyone was like hooting and hollering and talking, and he got really pissed off. And he's like, I'm not going to the theater anymore. So he stopped going to the theater, but he loves movies, so he watches movies all the time. My mom loves to go to the movie theater. So it's like where other kids every Sunday were going to church, my mom and I were going to the movies.
Yes.
So,
even when you were a kid.
Yeah. And nothing, it was never age appropriate. Ratings meant nothing to them. They were like, Jaws when you're 4 years old? Sure. Really inappropriate. Like The Shining scared the shit out of me. Like all of those
totally
things.
Frightening.
Yeah. So I was always that kid. I loved to like read the TV guide from like back to back, all the way to the back, even where they just listed all the movies that were going to play. And I'd read all the things so I could tell you random things about movies I've never seen. I just have maybe read the summary.
Oh, do you have that kind of memory? Like you can do that now?
I don't know if I could do it now.
Okay.
But I used to. Before the internet, y'all, before the internet existed, my dad used to call me sometimes while I was at work and say, what's the movie with the guy and the thing? And I'd be like, you're talking about blank. Like, I would know. Now you just Google that shit. But pre-Google, he would just call me at work, where I was working at a movie theater, of course. And Sonia,
maybe on a payphone.
Like, Sonia, phone for you. Super important. It's your dad. And I get on, and he's like, where's the movie with the guy that's doing the thing?
Who was it? He was in that one thing.
Yeah.
The one time.
Yeah,
with,
and then
with that woman.
Yes, and then and I was like, I think you're thinking of Six Pack with Kenny Rogers, or whatever. Like, just kidding. He would know what Six Pack was. He would never need me for that.
To be fair to Mr. Mansfield.
Yes.
Yes.
So he was always a movies guy, and so was she. And then I just, for TV, like TV was just always on, and then I became like an MTV girly. Like, that was a big deal. And remember, my parents were super young, so like they listened to music that was cool and
what we would call classic rock?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
It's like Queen and all of that stuff.
Great.
So like the TV was just always on. And then maybe around, well, I know for a fact. So in middle school is 7th grade where I learned that, hey, not everyone is your friend, and some people hate you, and you don't know why. And I couldn't comprehend it. And like, I was instead of taking a school bus, I would take the county connection from my middle school home, and every kid just rode that bus. It wasn't the school bus, but it was but we were all on this bus.
Right.
And for some reason, some guy didn't like me, and he started teasing me, and he got the whole bus involved.
Oh, man.
And it was like months of just every time I got on this bus, this guy tortured me. And he tortured me at school, in the classroom, like, and I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was like, why would he not like me? Everyone likes me. I'm really nice.
What's not to like?
What's not to like? I'm amazing. Everyone else is obsessed with me. Why? No, I would never think that. But he was so mean, and it like changed me chemically.
Okay.
And I became very shy and like afraid to interact with people.
Okay.
And
This
so
is 7th grade.
Yeah. So there was like a switch that flipped, and
Okay.
I like spent a lot of time in the library during lunchtime because I didn't know who to even eat with. And I had some friends, but it's like I didn't want to tell them what was happening, and I didn't want to make it their problem, or I don't know. It was...
Did you tell anyone? Did you tell your parents?
No.
Yeah, no, you didn't tell them, because it's like, it's not only the torment, but also the shame.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And honestly, I thought that they would just be like, who cares? Or, you know, in some ways, and there's some ways I super love my dad, and there's other ways where I was like, you don't do it right. And I was like, in some ways, he's like your first bully, you know? So it's like, I don't know if he would have been terribly helpful.
Yeah.
So I just kind of kept that to myself. But that's when I started watching TV even more. That's when I started like riding my bike to the movie theater and would see movies by myself.
Oh, wow.
And that continued all through high school.
Yeah.
Like, I had some friends, and my friends that got to know me would say, Sonia's hilarious. I can't believe that, like, you don't, like, there was a lot of people at school who didn't even know me. They were like, you know, I even went to my reunion once, and they're like, where do I know you from? And I was like, from high school, dickhead. I'm literally at the reunion. Like, hey, dipshit, do you know you're at the high school reunion? We went to school together.
That was definitely the most likely to succeed, right?
Totally.
I mean...
It's so
Would you
weird.
say in middle school and high school, because again, this is my lens and my experience,
Yeah.
but like, you found the weirdos,
Yeah.
which was your community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. But again, I always kept it really small. I had like, you know, 2 close friends, maybe 3. I didn't talk in class. I wouldn't ask questions because I was afraid if I asked a question, it'd be a stupid question.
Stupid question. Yeah.
And someone would make fun of me, like my nightmare. So again, a lot of watching TV, riding my bike to the theater. And my parents were like, there's a curfew of midnight. And my sister, meanwhile, is like crawling out the window and like at night and like going to
Smoking
parties.
and,
Totally, all the
drinking,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was
Throwing up.
Yeah, and I'm like, so I'm going to like a 10 p.m. showing of Aliens, and it won't get out till after midnight. So, and they're like, get out, nerd. Like, we don't care. Like, what? You're fine. Okay, you can blow your curfew off to go see Aliens for the 16th time, you nerd. So there was a lot of that. And then I also really got into writing. And so
When did that start?
like 7th or 8th grade,
Okay.
I started writing, and I would write really shitty short stories that are 100% like young adult, like, she's a wallflower and he's popular and he doesn't notice her, and then she takes off her glasses and he's like, she's beautiful. It's fucking, she's all that.
Yes, but also it's the hoops you have to go through.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I asked for like an electric typewriter for my birthday in like 7th or 8th grade, and they got me one. And I would all the time be like, I'm working on my stories, I'm writing my plays, you know, but I would never let anybody read anything. And
And for listeners, typewriters are no.
ask your grandparents about typewriters.
No, but so kind of one way that I would summarize is you took kids that, especially that age, it's like we're all going through changes, like physically,
Yes.
hormonally, mentally, whatever. And for whatever reason, they chose you as a target
Yes.
to be shitty. And you took that. Trauma is like a catchphrase, but like it's traumatic. If you're 12, 13, it's traumatic. But you took that and you made it creative.
Yeah.
You can say in hindsight.
In hindsight,
Right?
yes.
Like, you found something you loved,
Yeah.
and some would call it an escape.
Yes.
TV, movies.
Yes. It was pointed out to me maybe last year or the year before. Someone pointed this out to me. One of my coworkers. We were talking about like the stories that I would write when I was younger and stuff, and how a lot of them, the lead of the story was like this really smart, funny girl with red hair and glasses. And I did not have red hair as a kid. I was very blonde. Did not wear glasses, even though I probably needed them, until college. Like, and now I look back and I'm like, I manifested myself.
Oh,
like deep
yes.
down, I knew this was the person, but I didn't know it at the time.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, it's like back to like, because now I'm like, I look like that girl
It's
that I
very
used to
you.
write
There
about.
are illustrations.
Yes.
Of you with that.
Yes.
Yes.
So
I love it.
now I know I like channeled those things, and I also knew that I really like writing about television shows and movies, and so I was like, maybe that's what I want to do. And I didn't know what that would look like or how to really do it, and no one in my family was like, especially women, went to college. That was not a thing. So I'm in high school, and I took a creative writing class, and then I got brave and decided to sign up for the newspaper, and then I started writing movie reviews
Yes, for the high school
newspaper. And I took it very seriously. I was
love
like,
it.
here's my Oscar predictions, everybody. Like, because high schoolers care about my Oscar predictions. What a scoop. I just took, it was so funny because I took it so seriously, and then there were like two guys that also wrote movie reviews, but they wrote it like a Siskel and Ebert thing, and I was like, their stuff is trash. Like, my stuff's the good stuff with real insight, and they're just trying to be funny, whatever. Now I'm like, that it's probably fine, but whatever.
Were you reading local papers?
I
at
did.
The time?
So
Yeah.
I was reading.
Tribune and
I was
Chronicle?
reading the Contra Costa Times
Contra
every
Costa Times, yeah.
morning, and
Yeah.
they used to run Ebert's reviews. Roger
Just
Ebert's.
Ebert. Just Ebert.
Well, we had our critics, and I was
Yes.
like, they're fine.
Yeah.
And then, but they had Ebert, like some of his reviews, and then they had like his Answer Man column where he would answer questions, and I loved Siskel and Ebert. I used to watch it all the time, and I got so many movie ideas from them. And then a video outlet opened. There were Blockbusters and stuff.
I
But
was just talking about that on another episode.
But I was
like video
obsessed
stores.
with the video outlet. So another thing that happened a lot when I was growing up was my parents were really into camping and hunting.
Oh, awesome.
And like super
The camping part, yeah.
super outdoorsy.
Yeah.
And from a very early age, I was like, I reject all of this. Like, I didn't like it. I'm not a hunter. I don't like camping.
You fooled me this whole time of knowing you.
because something about me says I like roughing it.
Yeah,
I
the
like
giant rifle that you always have strapped on your back.
totally the rifle rack in my Toyota Rav. You know, no, I don't want to sleep on the ground in a sleeping
Yeah.
bag. Like I don't like that stuff. So at a pretty young age, I want to say 12 or 13, they would disappear for entire weekends, the rest of the family, and they would leave me at home with like frozen dinners and $20.
Yep.
And I would take that $20 and I would go to Video Outlet and I would walk the entire store and I would read the back of every movie there. Again, why I have useless knowledge in my head about movies, that I can't tell you important shit, but I could tell you something random about a foreign movie I've never seen. So I spent a lot of time renting movies from that, and then it was just I super cared about that stuff. And I did try to get a job when I was in high school.
Okay.
I worked at a Subway sandwich shop
Yes.
for 4 hours.
Okay.
That's right, 4 whole hours.
Did you make any sandwiches in that time?
Yes, I did. So it was also like a buy one, get one day, and it was super busy.
Yeah.
I only lasted 4 hours, but literally drove me to tears because I was so shy.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't even take orders from people. And I was so overwhelmed that I, like, ran out of there and, like, ran all the way home and was like, I can't ever go back.
But that's service industry experience.
Yeah.
You dabbled.
Yes, I dabbled. And then
you're like, I'm going to write.
Yeah, and then like a year later, you know, I graduated from high school and it's like I really needed to get a job, and I'm like, I think I want to work at the movie theater.
Oh, shit.
It's where I spend most of my time.
Right.
So I got a job at the, now it doesn't exist anymore, a Regency Theater, which was part of Man Theaters, which was a thing that it used to own the Chinese Theater.
Chinese Theater in LA, yeah.
So now that theater is a Lamps Plus, ironically. A place that used to be so dark is now a Lamps Plus.
Yeah.
But it was in Pleasant Hill. I literally like walked in, filled out a job application, and they were like, you're hired.
On
Like
paper with a pen,
Yes.
probably, yeah.
Yes, and they like, you're hired. Like there was no interview. It was just the summer starting. That's the busy movie season. You're hired. And
This is like 89,
so this would have been 88.
88. Okay.
And that's where I started to find my people, because other movie nerds also liked working at the movie theater. You're like,
you found more weirdos.
yes, because you get free movies,
Yes.
which was, I was like, you're saving me so much money just by like by giving me
it
free
works
movies.
out.
Yes.
It's part of your paycheck.
Well, and so then there were a lot of people who work there that don't like, they're just like, whatever, it's a job and that's what I do. But there were a lot of people who were in my age range that really loved movies, that were going to go to college or community college, and they were interested in film. So I got to be around all these other movie nerds.
Yes.
And I slowly became less shy, and they're also, because they didn't know me from high school, there wasn't like a preconceived notion of me.
Right.
So I could be myself and
Right.
see how people responded to that. And I was shocked by the response, especially from boys.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was not something that happened in high school, where boys were like, I'm going to ask out Sonia. That did not happen.
Okay.
I never went out on a date in high school, and then I started the theater, and like dudes were just circling like sharks,
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, what's happening?
The aforementioned hormones.
And
Sure.
and honestly, I was like, I kept a lot of them at arm's length, because I was like, that's a lot. But,
Yeah, I don't like sharks.
yeah, exactly. So, but it was fun, and I was not used to that.
Right.
And I found a lot of my like lifelong friends over the years. I worked at the Regency. When that theater closed, they transferred me to like the Festival Movie Theater in Walnut Creek, which is now like a restaurant, I think. Very interesting theater. It was like a 5-screen, but it was on a corner. So like 2 theaters were on one side and 3 were on the other. And if you bought a ticket and you had to walk outside.
Separate.
Go around. Yeah.
Like separate entrance.
Yes, but there was a hallway up top for employees. But but I met a lot of lifelong friends. Like,
And this
people-
was right after high school,
Yeah.
like literally you graduated,
Yes.
and then that summer is
Yeah.
when this all started.
And I started community college, like, because the idea of going straight into a 4-year sounded really intimidating, and again, not something that people were doing in my family, so I wasn't used to that. I looked at DVC, Diablo Valley College, which is the one that a lot of people from my high school were going to go to, and I was like, but I don't want to be with the people from my high school. I don't think that's a good fit for me.
No.
So I went the other direction and went to Los Medanos College in Pittsburgh,
Okay.
which was way smaller than DVC. DVC is really big. Like all the classrooms
Yeah.
are big auditoriums, and
I've heard of it. I haven't heard of
Los
the one you went
Medanos.
to.
Yeah, and it was smaller, but it had a newspaper, and I felt like that would be I would have more opportunity at a smaller paper.
Totally.
You know, and I met awesome people there too, and also Los Medanos was ahead of the curve in some ways in that it was very obsessed with like diversity.
What? We're not obsessed with that anymore.
No, we
That's
don't care
passé.
anymore.
Yes.
But now, you know, well, in the 2000s, we heard a lot about diversity and like
Voices. Let's hear from the voices.
And Los
Yes.
Medanos was already like super into that, and I was like, this is dope. I got to meet a lot of different people that I hadn't met in high school because my high school was predominantly white. But interesting, a lot of my best friends in high school were like Filipino or black, or
Right.
because maybe they were also outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
So not all of, you know, I had white friends too.
Right. Right.
I can say that because I have white friends too.
I have a couple. Yeah.
But so Los Medanos was great. I was working at the theater. I was going to Los Medanos, and
Still living at home?
still living at home. But I was paying my own way. Like my parents specifically my mom would like kick me some money every once in a while and like maybe pay for books or something. But mostly I was paying for myself. So I couldn't always afford to go full time. But I also had enough self-awareness to know that I was there to like learn and get experience. And if you want to be in newspapers, you need clips.
Yes.
So I didn't always go full time. I spent a lot of time in the newspaper, and I wrote for like every section of that newspaper. I wrote for sports. I wrote for the opinion page. I wrote features. I wrote news. I was obsessed with getting clips in like every single thing.
Also cutting your chops, like, right? Paying your dues.
Yeah. And eventually I did get to be the editor. I was like the boss, and I also was the editor of like the magazine for the college, and it was super, super fun, and I made amazing friends. And one of them is my friend Anthony, who is another movie nerd who like directs the Sharknado movies now. Like, you know, it's like these
deal.
people that I've surrounded myself with are still here in different capacity. You know, I don't see them every day, but it was
Still
so
with
fun.
you.
Yeah, like we still talk, you know, or we still text, or I met like some real ones, I guess is what
Totally.
I'm saying.
I mean, between the movie theater jobs and going to this college, sounds like in hindsight we can say this now because we're like middle-aged as fuck. But like you were broadening your world.
Yes, but I was doing it like little by little at my own pace. Like I knew, like again, like my sister is someone who was very much like, fuck y'all, like couldn't wait to move out, like definitely, like in some ways very older sister vibes, and I give off very middle sister vibes, even though it's reversed. I had to do it at my own pace, and I had to do it when I was ready. So it took me 3 or 4 years to get through community college, which makes me feel like Tommy Boy when he's like, a lot of people go to college for 8 years. They're called doctors. That's me.
That was What a Creep's Sonia Mansfield. We recorded this episode at Rosamunda in the Mission. Check back tomorrow for part 2 with Sonia, available wherever you get podcasts. Music for Storied San Francisco was produced, performed, and curated by Otis McDonald. Our contributing producer is Aaron Lim of Bitch Talk Podcast. And the show is produced and hosted by me, Jeff Hunt. Now in our 8th season, we have more than 300 episodes available on our website, storiedsf.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If possible, please rate and review the show. I want to know what you think. Find us on Substack for our monthly newsletter and more. And follow us on Instagram and Threads at storiedsf. Reach us there or email us at storiedsf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Try to stay hopeful in these dark times. Keep being wacky, creative, and kind out there. And we'll see you next time on Storied San Francisco. We acknowledge and respect the first humans of the unceded land we call San Francisco, the Ramaytush Ohlone. We condemn the genocide of these and other tribes across the Western Hemisphere. We honor their legacy and history, and we support rematriation and sovereignty efforts.